It's just a play call that they had in their pocket. No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
To Hunt, 180!
Check right.
Hey, Oscar!
Hey, switch gears. Hey, alert 48. Hey, we gonna make the
Spurs!
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Go ahead.
Mike's by 4.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. That is caught at the 7. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
Let's go.
Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Eric Armstead. In there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Hey, we're good.
Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Ringo.
4 down, check. 4 down.
Now Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
300.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 16 yards there, 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Hey, we're good. To Hunt, 180.
Check, 48.
Rhino.
First down. Here's Cousins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
One, Omaha.
Tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's going to drop this off. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
I'll send you. Here we go. Hurry up. Hurry up.
He's coming. Watch him. Watch him.
21, 21.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this 1st quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Strong right.
Hey, gun.
Forward out.
Black 80. 180.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
21. 180. 180.
Mike.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Over the middle to Garcon. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Garcon with his first grab, good enough for a 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And he can't quite get back. Nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Twenty-one.
Hey.
Here we go. Black 80. 21.
They'll go with a keeper. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
Oh, yeah, that's the score on them. That's how you score on them. That's it, baby. That's it. That's 6, baby. We got it all day up in here. We got all day.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Going deep for Diggs. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 58 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more. Was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown,
65,
touchdown.
65.
Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
54 Mike.
Throwing on 1st is Garoppolo. And this one is incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54.
I'll send you. Here we go. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Army.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this.
Watch tight end. Tight right.
White. 180.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Following the interception, Cousins trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only with a good defense.
Throwing, Cousins. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive 1st half to get that lead. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
To hurt. 180.
You gonna see me in your
Throwing his Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. A gain of 32 that time.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
All right, now here we
That's
go.
very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well
Lucky
done.
48.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the
21,
lead. Not a
21.
whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead,
Here we go.
but a
180.
mistake there,
Hurry up.
that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. Garoppolo now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
6. 21. Here we go.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo got his man complete over the middle. It's Goodwin. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that. And
now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
Yellow.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
All right, now
They'll
here we
break
go.
the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Final play of the half, Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real. I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Lucky 50.
Four down. Check.
To hurt.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. Going deep for Diggs. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Cousins now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Malcolm Smith in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To throw is Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit of another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Crash.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
21. Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Everson Griffin in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, But you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They do go for it. It's Garoppolo. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And out now come the Vikings.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with it.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Eric Kendricks leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on second and 16.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Work to be done here on second and 16 after the sack.
I got you, I got you.
We got 4.
Here we go, here we go.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Anthony Barr. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on third and long?
Hurry up! Hurry up! 180! 180!
4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction. And that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession. And to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 40.
Ringo! Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good!
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring at throwing. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Eric Armstead in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Yellow, yellow, yellow! Yellow!
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Going deep for Diggs. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman. Able to get a hand in. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
They should have known. They should have known, baby. Ow! That's what I'm talking about. All day.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Check 52. Lucky 50. To Hud. 180. Wait back.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
To Hud. 180. Wait back.
Play action now. Cousins. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey, guys, check me out.
Spurs.
You gotta stand up over there. Check.
Wait back.
Handoff comes to Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Wait. Black 80. Wait 80.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, gun.
Check.
I got you.
Right there. 54, right there.
The shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Here they come. Hot. Woo! Get them, boys. Yeah, that's how we do, D.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Black.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Here we go. Wait 80.
Check 24.
Now Garoppolo. Over the middle, complete. That's good one. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
21. Wait 20.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
Nice.
And no, it's incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Double tight.
Hey, steamer. Wait back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys